Today, the cattle was easier, so there's no cash trade before that early close, and so it made for lackluster trade. It's keeping the markets very, very quiet, and overall, though, the futures are just continued to climb. The choice and select were performing very well, keeping the market higher. There isn't a lot of trade, but the strength of this market kind of tells us that perhaps that it's going to be moving a little bit better. Look at where the feeders were. The feeders were kind of flat to just a couple of ticks higher. The light volume barely moves the needle for the feeders, but we're entering in that reassessment time, and it looks like that we're set for higher prices. So there's a quiet optimism that keeps these buyers confident and keep moving the markets higher. Now, the live cattle, if you look at the chart, it's really like pushing higher, where the feeder cattle's finally recovered off their lows and starting to move higher. The first quarter of 2019 looks like it's going to be a very strong quarter. Now, looking at the hogs, the market was mixed to a little bit lower. Interestingly enough, that we did get another report on the African swine fever, but it's with that USDA report is just holding futures kind of steady here, and with that swine fever report, it seems that we're suffering a little bit of swine fever fatigue. That hog and pig report too, that showed that we're at least, that there's something kind of interesting, that the aggressive herd expansion is really starting to slow down. That should give some support to the market, but we're still waiting on the government shutdown is definitely holding this market down, as well as it pushes then the resolution to the U.S.-China trade agreement to the back burner. That makes it more difficult for us to figure out what we're going to do, because the pork, the hog market, as well as the soybean market will benefit the most once we find some kind of resolution. But it's still going to be a little bit of time for that. But futures, are trading on both sides of the market today, but relatively steady. But of course, it's a quiet day. It's a shortened day right before the holiday, but there's going to be a lot more volatility coming up in these next 3 days on this shortened week.